Hello, Eagles Nation, and welcome back to the Cali Blitz. I'm your host, Adrian Pisano, and I want to start off this episode by saying I am sorry for losing the game this past Sunday. I guess my clip of calling out Kevin Patullo reached his office and he did what I asked. He passed the ball. He passed it to A.J. Brown, he passed it to Devontae Smith, and he passed it Jahan Dotson. Here's the clip from last week. This is my message to Kevin Patullo. Pass the ball. Pass it to A.J. Brown. Pass it to Devontae Smith. Pass it to Jahan Dotson. We have some of the elite wide receivers in the league, and there's no reason that our receivers should get that low of targets. Passing the ball, Kevin Patullo. We need it. And there you have it. So I will take 100% accountability. I will take responsibility for that loss. My bad, Birds fans. With that said, the Eagles have finally lost for the 2025 season. I don't think any of us saw us going 17-0, but it still hurts when you lose the undefeated record. The only good thing is that the Buffalo Bills also lost on Sunday to the Patriots, so that means that there's 0 undefeated teams. It's always better when the 2 undefeated teams lose on the same day, which leaves a remaining 0. But the Bills game did look prettier than ours, and the game against the Broncos was just another frustrating game for the Birds. Credit to the Broncos. I mean, they played a good game, especially in that second half. They came out with a good game plan. Were able to neutralize our wide receivers, our running game as well, and their offense was able to drive it up the field on multiple times, and were able to score a touchdown or a field goal. And in the end, they did go and score a 2-point conversion, which was the game-winning play, really. We started off decently. At halftime, we were up 10-3. The offense looked pretty good. I guess not pretty good, it looked decent. We had a few good drives in there, a few good passes to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Let me just tell you, Devontae Smith is a really great player. I mean, he could be a wide receiver a 1 on any other team. There's at times where I count on him more than A.J. Brown, count on him more to make that catch, especially in the clutch time. He's just a baller, and I mean, he's shown it ever since he's got to the league. But there's a few good passes. Saquon Barkley had a good rush of 17 yards, which was his longest rush of the season, which is crazy to say. I think in the first half he had 7 carries, or actually he had 9 carries, I believe. And at the end of the game he had 11. So in the second half we obviously didn't run it. And that's one of the reasons we lost. And that's one of the reasons we do not look like the champions from last year. Last year our identity was run the ball. And when the opposing team was worn down, then we would keep running it down their throats. The running game would open routes for the wide receivers that would open the door for A.J. Brown, for Devontae Smith. And that's because the team had to solely focus on stopping the run, stopping Saquon Barkley. And most of the time they were unsuccessful. There was various games where Saquon Barkley broke 100 yards. He went for over 2,000 yards. That's why he's on this deodorant Saquon sore. And this season, he hasn't looked the same. The team hasn't looked the same as we've seen. We've had glimpses of what we can be. And it's been optimistic at times when we look like that. But then we get on to the next drive and we look like the complete opposite. So it's definitely frustrating. But at halftime, we were up 10-3. And that's all that matters. And then Kevin Patullo struck again. This time, just passing the ball. This time he forgot that he could run the ball as well. We did come off the half with a strong play. Saquon Barkley caught a great pass from Jalen Hurts and he took it in for 40 or 50 yards. And so we were up 14. We were up 17-3. It seems like at the third quarter, at the beginning of the fourth, we were up 17-3. And last year, we would be able to run the ball in that fourth quarter and take 5 or 6 minutes from the clock, and that would really seal the game. But as we've learned, this season just hasn't been the same, and we just haven't been able to run the ball. The Broncos scored 18 unanswered points in that fourth quarter, while the Eagles scored 0, and the final score being 21-17. And I see two big problems. I saw two big problems with the Eagles. The first, the offense is not playing to par with the defense. I mean, the defense has been pretty good. I've been proud of our defense. Our secondary has been good. Q has kept wide receivers on lockdown. Cooper, DeGene as well. Our front could be a bit better, but they do get some pressures here and then. Our linebackers are pretty good. Zach Bond did have one play where he had a flag. He's just not like that, and I think that was just an unusual play from him. I don't foresee him doing more of that. But all that to say, our linebackers have been good. Our defense has been pretty good. And the offense seems to let them down, and we saw this Sunday against the Broncos. The Broncos were on the field for most of that second half, and that was because the defense couldn't stop them. And yes, I did say that the defense is good, but it's not good when the defense is out there for the whole second half, and that's a problem because the offense can't stay on the field. And so when the offense can't stay on the field, the defense stays on, and they get tired, and they miss tackles, and they give up touchdowns. I don't blame the defense too much. I mean, Vic Fangio has done a good job getting our defense ready. And we saw what he did last year, and we have some great players on that defense. What disappoints me most and what frustrates me the most, and I think what frustrates the Philadelphia Eagles fans, is that our offense can't do anything. And so it's letting our defense down, it's getting them tired. And we just can't have that happen. It's not complementary football. Complementary football is what wins games. And so we have to figure out, like I said, that's the first problem. And the second problem is, it's directly linked to that, it's that Kevin Patullo cannot get the job done. He looks like Brian Johnson 2.0. I said it jokingly a few weeks ago, I hoped that he would progress. But 5 weeks in, I haven't seen much improvement, if any. I've seen glimpses of what he could do. But even then, I've seen on a lot of media reports that Jalen Hurts has been the one that has called some plays that have been successful. And I think one of the reasons that we've been winning is just because of the talent we have. I mean, we have one of the best rosters in the league. I mean, just look at us. There should not be a reason that we should give up a double-digit lead in that fourth quarter against the Broncos. Yes, the Broncos have a really good defense, but we should have been able to keep that lead. And I think that's all. I think the majority, if not most of the fault, falls on Kevin Patullo. I mean, I appreciate him listening to me and passing the ball. That means that my message got through. But it just wasn't enough. I mean, we have to have complementary football. And while we were watching the game, I was watching the game with my brother again, another big Eagles fan. He kept saying to run the ball, and that's what we need to do. But we just can't for some reason, and I think that's because of the offensive line too. And it could be due to some injuries. I mean, Lane Johnson has been injured. Dickerson has been injured. But we can get that running game back. I mean, we're unstoppable because then that opens the doors for wide receivers. And eventually that defense will wear down in games, and Saquon can run it all over the field again. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith will get plenty of targets. But I just don't think Kevin Patillo can get the job done. And I think most of the Eagles fan base seems to have that same view. It's frustrating because he's our sixth different offensive coordinator in the past 6 seasons. I believe Kellen Moore was our best one. He got us to Super Bowl last year. And I think Nick Sirianni has to take over some of that offensive game and start drawing up some plays so our offense can look better and can improve. We play the Giants this week, who are 1-4. I believe they just lost to the Saints. I remember 2 years ago when we barely beat the Giants in 2023, when we had that implosion in the team. But we play the Giants this week, which is good for us Eagles fans because it's a short week, but we can move on to the Giants game. And we'll see what happens. I hope Nick Sirianni can take over some of the offense because our defense needs it. So my message for the week this week is, Nick Sirianni, I need you to take over some of the offense because Kevin Patillo cannot get the job done. Kevin Patillo, Jeffrey Lurie, I need you to fire Kevin Patillo. Last week my message got through to Kevin Patillo, and that's the reason why we lost. And I take that fully. But now, Jeffrey Lurie, I'm speaking to you as an Eagles fan, as one of many Eagles fans that say Kevin Patillo needs to get out of Philly. I think it's time. He's had 5 weeks. He looks like Brian Johnson 2.0. And with our offense, we should not be giving up double-digit leads in the fourth quarter. There's no reason we should have lost that game. Despite the loss, the Eagles are still in good position. We are still first in the NFC East. We are still tied for first in the NFC. The Commanders did win, and the Cowboys did as well, so they did make up some ground on us. But we're in good position due to those first early wins this year. I hope this is a wake-up call, similar to last year when we lost to the Buccaneers. That we are the Super Bowl defending champs, but we are beatable. I mean, we almost lost to the Rams. We survived the Buccaneers. And so we could easily be 2-3 this season. If it wasn't due to our championship pedigree, I think, our will to win. And so I hope this is a wake-up call to the team and to Nick Sirianni. That just because we're the champs, we are not unbeatable. Now on to a more exciting segment. We are moving on to the up and the down of the week. A weekly segment where I talk about a team who impressed me the most and a team who disappointed me the most. This week's team who impressed me the most has to go to the team that just came off a Monday night game. They beat the defending AFC champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, and a score of 31-28. It was a competitive game, but the Jacksonville Jaguars were able to pull it off, and that impressed me the most. Trevor Lawrence had some questionable plays there, but in the end, he did make some good plays, and he led the team to victory. The defense looked pretty good for the Jaguars, especially on that 99 pick six that Patrick Mahomes threw. I believe it was Lloyd who made the interception on Mahomes, and he returned it all the way 99 yards. I think that was in the third quarter. And the Jaguars are sitting at 4-1, tied with the Colts in the AFC South for first place. The Jaguars, from what I've heard, I haven't seen them too much, but from what I've heard, they have a really good defense, but they needed a signature win. And that signature win comes tonight against the AFC champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a good game when the Colts and the Jaguars square off here in a couple of weeks. And it looks like the Jaguars, I'm calling it now, I think they will be making the playoffs. It seems that Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence might have something special there. You had the addition of Travis Hunter, Travis Etienne, a really good running back, had some really good runs today. And you had that defense to that pair, to the offensive pair. And I think Jaguar might have something special brewing. I mean, they just took down the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's a tall task. And I think it's just a statement to the AFC that the Jaguars are here, they're here to compete, and if you're not ready to perform, the Jaguars can take you down. So, really good game for the Jaguars. Good for them. I mean, it's been a while since the Jaguars have had some success. And so, it's good to see the Jaguars. It's good to see them take down the Chiefs. And they are sitting at 4-1. Now, to the team who disappointed me the most. This honor goes to the LA Chargers, who are sitting at 3-2 after losing to the Commanders on Sunday, 27-10. We look at the stats. We look at Herbert. He went 22 for 29 for 166 yards, which isn't bad. He went for a touchdown and 1 interception. But that interception came off at a really bad time. The Chargers were having momentum and were in the red zone, I believe. And he threw a pick, which I think really shifted the momentum back to the Commanders. The Chargers were on the top 5 of many analysts, of many people. But I think after this performance, they'll be top 10, but I don't think they'll be top 5. And it's really been a disappointment as of late. I think they started 3-0, and then they've lost 2 straight now. They lost to the Giants last week, and then they lost to the Commanders. So they've had 2 straight losses, and they've given up that AFC West lead. The Broncos made up some ground this past Sunday. The Chiefs weren't able to win today, so they're still a game back. But these past 2 games could have been really big statements to the league that the Chargers are for real, that the Chargers are serious. But instead, they lose the last 2, and they're sitting at 3-2, still with the lead in the AFC West. But they keep performing the same way that they do, and they won't be in that first position for long. So we will see. I mean, Herbert was being talked about as a potential MVP those first 3 weeks. But since then, that's quieted down a bit. And those are the teams who are on the up and down of the week. Hopefully it's your team that's on the up and not on the down next week. That'll do it for this week's episode of the Cali Blitz. We'll be back on Friday previewing the game for the Eagles against... Actually, no. I'll be back on Thursday afternoon since we play on Thursday night football. I'll be back on Thursday afternoon to give you guys a preview of that game. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the Cali Blitz. Go follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. I make some funny skits on there, some funny TikToks. I see a lot of you people liking my content, and I really appreciate that. But what I would appreciate a bit more would be a follow. It really helps me out, really helps the channel grow. If you're an Eagles fan and know any other Eagles fans, make sure to share the content. We Birds fans got to stick together, especially after we have a bunch of Broncos fans now coming at us and celebrating their win. I mean, I think it's their Super Bowl. As always, go Birds.